When all of your flaws and all of my flaws are laid out one by one.
I'm Dan.
I'm Woody.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Will.
The mess that we made, we pick ourselves under.
I remember Kyle wasn't in the most fit state to be making music that day.
That was a bad day for being awake.
Kyle phoned me at about 7:30 in the morning, and he's like, "Dude, the taxi's here." I was like, "Okay." And it's like, "Shall I get in?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Where am I going?" And I was like, "Well, what's the address the taxi driver got?" "Yeah, shall I just go there?" I was like, "Yeah, that's how a taxi works, dude."
I don't know what had happened the night before, but yeah, that was bad. And then we kind of went outside for everyone to turn up, and I fell asleep on the pavement, the sidewalk. I was out, and then went on this boat.
The boat was amazing.
It was amazing inside.
Yeah,
it was so cool.
Because we basically we made our album in our friend's studio, and so we haven't really been in that many nice studios. Obviously, this being one of them, which is insane. So yeah, at the time, that was probably the coolest studio we'd ever been in. And I remember we got to climb up.
Oh yeah, that's
right. Yeah, I was a bit precarious.
To the very top. And just has this amazing view out of East London. It was very cool. It was the first time I saw the cable car.
Oh, the Olympics.
Which is a really boring fact for everyone. There you go. Anyway.
I see them sinking in.
It was fun. It was really fun. I think it was one of the first proper filmed sessions that we did, and I think it was the first time we used that setup of it being stripped back but still quite electronic as well.
It was actually, yeah.
So it was fun.
Historic, in fact.
And funny to think that we did a session that didn't involve Pompeii at all. Like that didn't even figure in our minds.
It was written, but it wasn't slated as a single or a release, I think, at that point.
Hadn't realised it was any good at that.
Like with our sort of release thing in the UK, we took it really easy, and we did over all of 2012, we released 3 EPs, and with kind of which was nice, no real expectation on them. So they just we just put them out and saw what happened, and Pompeii wasn't even really on the cards at the time, I don't think. So yeah, good job we had it.
Bad Blood wasn't ever intended to do that well in the UK, because it was kind of, we released Overjoyed first of all, and then Bad Blood. It was a nice slow build, which was kind of one of the great things about our label that we're on. They had the kind of foresight and patience to actually just do a few soft releases and let it build kind of organically, rather than pick your best song, shove it out there. When it fails, you fail, you're dropped.
Because it is rare, particularly in the UK, to just release it. I think someone like Lord is a really interesting example of who worldwide put out a song and it just was massive. Do you know what I mean? And there wasn't a huge amount of setup, but it's funny, having kind of gone through it, to sort of look back and see someone out there probably had the right idea to kind of just build things slowly. And it was good for us. It meant, we already had a fan base, but it meant that we got to just keep touring and keep developing and getting better, hopefully, as a band, and all that kind of stuff without any pressure. So when we put Bad Blood out, I think it got played on the radio in the UK 4 times, and everyone was really happy with that. Do you know what I mean? That was like a home run. And yeah, we got to do some tours and stuff, and yeah. I guess in terms of motivation, it's hard when you're starting out as a band to really think further than a month ahead, because you just don't know what's going to happen.
So much going on as well.
I think, like Woody said, we were lucky with our label that they had patience and they sort of, I guess, had belief in what we were doing. Other labels, I'm sure, if they'd have had that result, might have been like, you dropped. But yeah, I guess we lucked out massively, and that's a big part of why we went with them as well. We've kind of been lucky throughout the last few years, because we don't really have massive expectations, and I guess people have never really had particularly high expectations of us from the outside, so we always seem to have slightly kind of exceeded what people think we'll do and what we think we'll do.
Almost no aspirations, you can never be disappointed.
Exactly.
Everything we do, getting up in the morning is the greatest achievement every day.
I don't wanna hear it
Hi, we're Bastille, and look for us on Last.fm.
about